Hi there, I'm Anish, aka Motion and aka Anish Ridge. I'm going to be showing you a little behind the scenes on our new parody hero. So yeah, let's get straight to it. Alright, so I'm going to start off by first breaking down how I made this the most complex scene in the parody. So that's this scene right here. I'm going to just show you how everything came together. I won't get too technical, I'll just show you a little bit about how everything just came together, and I know some of you guys already know about animation, so I'm trying to cater to everyone, so let's hope I don't bore most of you. But yeah, let's get started. So alright, so this is Cinema 4D. It's where everything in the 3D scene came together. So as you can see, there are a ton of characters, and yeah, so let's first get into the characters and how I created them. So I'll make a new scene, and basically we have to start by modeling them. So we make certain cubes, and we make the cubes like this, and then little by little we shape a character, and then we have to then start animating it. So after the modeling process is done, we get something like this. So this is oops, and then there's also the texturing process, right? So I have to load up the textures. So if you want to go into more detail of how this is created, characters are created, you can go ahead and search some tutorials, but I'm just going to give you a basic run through. And so now we have the character created with some extrusions and nice details and nice texturing and all these other things. So yeah, so then the next thing is animation. So let me just hit this and make a keyframe. So this is the timeline. This is where we have to move all our components, and each 30 frames. So each 30 frames is equal to 1 second. So I'm just going to move the arm forward and then move. So I moved up in the timeline, and then I moved, and then I hit the record button. So I'm hitting a record button on the body, and then I'm going to move forward to the 7th frame, and then I'm going to move this forward, and then I'm going to record again. So this button right here. So now when I hit play, it's actually going to merge these two movements, right? So and then little by little we can shape our animation and create complex motions like this right here. This is quite a complex movement, and then it slams down, and all these motions, it comes together like this little by little. So it does take some time to animate, but yeah, it's all fun. So yeah, so the next thing we can see in the scene is the particle effects. So what I've done there is I actually use simulations. So if I just go and get an emitter, and then I make a cube, I can like simulate some sort of motion. So these you can go into more detail. So if I, for example, create a floor and then add a simulation tag to it, so now it registers in the software to say this has a simulation on top of it, and that things have to bounce off of it if they have a simulation on it. So now I put a simulation on the cube, so if I remove the simulation off the floor, they're just gonna come off. Yeah, so that's how you sort of simulate the blood simulations, and then you have to always add the slow motion effects. If you want a tutorial on how I did the slow motion for the blood effects, make sure you leave a comment down below. If you do have any questions, just leave a comment down below, and I'll try my best to answer it, or I can make a video about it. So yeah, so then we have the blood effects, and then the next we have all these other, say maybe camera motions. So I would basically get a camera, I'll use this cube for reference. I can get into the camera, and now if I say keyframe the camera here and then move here and keyframe means record its position. So and then I move in the timeline, and then we can little by little create all these camera motions and nice little tweaks, and then slow motion effects. So this all comes together by just knowing the software, as well as just practicing and understanding how animation works. I would say the key component is practice. So yeah, so that's that. Okay, so the next thing is the set building. So I did a lot of props and everything for the set. Let me actually show you the set. So I imported it in from the Minecraft world. So there's a software called Mineways that does that for you. If you want a link, I shall provide it, and if you want to learn how I did it, I have a tutorial on that. I can link you to it as well. Just make sure you leave a comment on it. So this is the world, right? So I basically picked certain locations in the world, and funny thing is, some of the locations are like not even relevant. So this is actually where he jumps off. Actually no, he jumps off. The final scene when he jumps out the window is actually here, but he was actually in this building when he was climbing up the stairs, right? So this is where he climbed up the stairs and he lost his arm and everything. And yeah, so and then he jumps out this window, right? So that's actually all the way over. Yeah, so yeah, there are neat tricks you can do for the set building and everything. And yeah, so once you've selected areas for your animation, you just start inputting your characters and start animating them in the scene. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but yeah, so then we have, so I had him animate in the church, but then you can also see there are these background objects, right? So let me just lower the settings of my render like this. And now I can render. It should be a quick render right now. So this is a low quality render. Oh, the character is bugged out. Let's ignore that for now. I haven't opened this scene in a while, but as you can hear, my computer is now starting to heat up. But yeah, so you can see this window here. It's actually not even attached to the walls, but it does look like it is. So you can have these neat little tricks, and then we have a lamp there to add some ambience and stuff. So yes, there are many ways of making a scene look nice, even if it's not even like perfect. So yeah, so as you can see, it's just to add that effect, plus the lamp here is probably floating. Yeah, it's floating. So yeah, it's all about just managing what you see through the camera. So what you see here, you can see just a lamp and a window, and then you don't look at, say, if it's attached or something. Of course, when you're going to finer details, you can. So I am also using assets, so you can either build your own assets, or you can download them or buy them online. So for example, this fan, I used it in the first scene or the second scene when the camera is up here and the fan is turning like this, and you can see his dead wife, which is actually, spoiler, is not real. She's not real. It was his imagination. Anyway, so yeah, so that's how you can build a scene and make it look really ambient and really nice. So then, yeah, so the next, if you scroll through, is we have the lighting. So the lighting, I actually made my own light. So this I will be selling probably, because I did take a while to sort of come up with this lighting. And it's all about trial and error and just making sure it looks right for you, So this is an ambient light. So if I say, for example, put a cube, I actually don't have to I have global illumination or whatever. It looks really nice with when you're working with blocks. So for example, a Minecraft character would look really nice with this lighting. So you can always adjust it. So if you want volumetric light, which is the fog effect, you can. And I've organized it really nicely in this one section, all the most important things for Minecraft lighting. So yeah, let me know if you want to have this lighting in your scene. I can provide a link to it. So yeah, and it makes it really easy to light a scene really fast. I literally lit all my scenes super fast with my light. So you can see there's a nice volumetric effect coming through the windows. Of course, you need to know a little bit more about how to properly light a scene and get this volumetric effect. It did take some time to get it right, but it was all worth it, and the final product became really nice. So the next thing, you can see this blood. It actually has some nice texturing to it. So I've added like a nice luminance, which makes it illuminate in the dark a little, because blood kinda has that effect when it's in the dark. It does stand out a little, so I just add a luminance channel, yeah, and then a reflectance channel as well to give that nice little reflection. So I added a conductor or whatever. I don't know, I was just messing around with the settings and found what I liked. So the next thing is managing parenting and stuff. That's more complicated, I'm not going to go into that. So then the blood effect, and then crunch, and then camera motions. Okay, so the next effect is when he lost his arm. So this actually took a while to animate because I had to work around a lot of issues and make sure it looks like he lost his arm. And yeah, so I basically switched out two objects, so the original arm and then this arm here, and then I animated a separate object just falling out. This is a little technical, but yeah. And the cool thing is my character rig, this guy right here, it's really easy to work with, and when you're working with effects like this, so I highly suggest you check it out. A link will be in the description. Oh yeah, and it's really easy to create characters using my template. It's basically a character template. You can use it to build all these characters that I have in this animation. So let's see, projects, yeah, characters. So all these characters are built from one template, so keep that in mind. It's really easy to build all these characters using my template, and yeah, I highly suggest you just check it out. And yeah, so that's about it for the breakdown of the 3D scene. If you want to know more in detail of how this was done, just let me know. I'll try and direct you to some tutorials or something, or make my own tutorial. And yeah, so the next thing is sort of to export it. So you have to manage your render settings. So rendering means like to process the 3D scene, and it gives you this nice image, and then you just export each frame. So I export them as JPEGs. Sometimes I use RPF to get 3D data, and then yeah, so then I export it to this file. So then we import it into a post-editing software like Adobe After Effects. So this is where I did all the post-editing. So added a nice little vignette, which is like blackening of the sides, so that adds to the effect. And then I added some color correction and then motion blur. So when the camera moves at a fast pace, so objects move, it adds a nice blur and it makes it look really smooth. So yeah, I kind of the original file was lost, so it looks a little weird right now, but yeah, so this is sort of where you do the final touches, like say the ending, when the boxes come up. So I've pre-rendered this, so I can show you. Okay, so I found them. If I show you, we can see all the rendered out images, and I've rendered them with an alpha matte, so that basically cancels out the background. And yeah, I imported it in, and I found the positions, and then I put that. And then we also have the subscribe simulation over here that was actually took a while to make, but yeah. And then so some of the other small effects like this, I actually downloaded presets. So text, if I go click on this text here, you can see there's an animation preset that I got, so I can show you the animation preset. If I go here and then animation presets and then motion array text presets, I just loaded them in and then added text, and it automatically gave these nice effects. So yeah, always know that there are things out there that makes animating a little easier. Otherwise, doing everything from scratch, like the music production and everything, it would take months. So yeah. Okay, so the next thing we have is audio. So if I just zoom in right here, you can see these are actually audio files. So I got them straight from Minecraft, the sound effects. And you can even download your own or create your own audio files online, and then you just sort of map them out in post-editing process. And also for the music, I got that done from someone else who knows how to do music production. And if you want to check him out, I'll put him in the description as well. Cube Studios, really awesome singer and producer and everything, so he can produce the highest of quality content, so I highly suggest to check him out if you want to. Yeah. Alright, so that's about it. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, just leave them down below. And yeah, stay tuned for more content like this, and yeah, see you soon.